Fierceness, yes, but who are the other good plays for the Holy Bull? Find out.
Trust the Profits is proud to be sponsored by Game of Silks. Go to silks.io to get in the game. Real ownership, real races, real rewards.
Find out here. Trust the Profits. This is the formula here. Talking to you about the Holy Bull Stakes. Yeah, we've got a huge weekend coming up, as I mentioned in my previous video. We have 4 stakes races that are Derby prep races coming up. 4 different locations, races going off all over, horses of interest, horses in Bob Baffert's stable going off in 2 of these races. And as of right now, his horses are ineligible for Kentucky Derby right now. Yeah, Trust the Profits. We're gonna have more for you on that and our opinions, but right now let's concentrate on the Holy Bull. Yeah, we got 8 horses entered into the Holy Bull. We've got half of them are actually owned by Silks owners. Good luck to the Silks owners out there that have those 4 horses. Should be an interesting one out there. Definitely top heavy in terms of a for sure favorite out there. Um, 8.5 furlongs, 1.16 mile on dirt, 250K purse. It is a G3. It is at Gulfstream, and it is February 3rd, 2024. Let's start getting into the horses, shall we? First one we start off with, yeah, cool image. I know. Hades, 2 wins in 2 races. He is used to Gulfstream Park, and he's used to Paco Lopez as well. He's got 2 wins at Gulfstream under Paco Lopez. The last one, a 54K, 7 furlong allowance win, leading pretty much the whole way. I think there was a little bit of back and forth early on, and then he really took the lead, winning by 8 lengths over North Shore Drive. But again, that's a 54K allowance race, 7 furlongs. His first win, maiden special weight race win, a 50K race there, coming from 6th place. So the last race I just talked about, pretty much gate to wire. This one he actually came from way back to win, so he's shown a lot of a couple different ways to win here. A gutsy horse ended up winning by a half a length there ahead of Arrogancy. I mean, obviously the key concerns here. He knows the track. He knows Paco, um, but obviously a step up in class and definite step up in distance too. He hasn't even gone a mile yet, and we're asking him to go um, a mile and a 16th here. So that's a big step up for some horses. Obviously, you like to look at that 7 furlong race and see that he won by 8 lengths there. But competition, 54K versus 250K purse, you're going to be facing some bigger horses, some better horses here. Inveigled, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I am pretty sure I am, but there's a chance I'm not. Two, 2 wins in 5 races. The one time he finished outside the money was the Mucho Macho Man Stakes. After swinging far in the outside, he ended up finishing 1.5 lengths behind Otello in that one. A lot of horses coming off the Mucho Macho Man are in this race. And yeah, that race, 4th place, only being 1.5 lengths. That was a very tight finish there for Otello to win. So he was the winner, but not by a long shot. There were some horses that were pretty darn close to him in that race by the finish of that 1 mile Mucho Macho Man Stakes. Previous to that, he was a winner in a Gulfstream Park 71K 1 mile race, beating C Streak, who's also in this race by 4.5 lengths. Second place finish at Laurel Park, broke his maiden at Laurel Park. So this is a horse that was going through Laurel Park. Had Irad Ortiz, have Irad Ortiz riding him in this race. So Inveigled, definitely an interesting play in this one. Otello, um, raced twice, won twice, winner of the Mucho Macho. Uh, Rallying from 6th place in that one, pacing the herd to win by half a length over First World War. One of the few horses from that race who's not in this race. But yeah, an impressive win for him there. It wasn't a huge amount of distance in that one. As I said before, in the previous horse, there were a bunch of horses that were very close to the finish. Otello was ahead though, going 1 mile there, and he had a nice charge going behind him there, having to come back from 6th place in that one. And of course, he won his maiden special weight the first time out by a neck, going 8 furlongs in that one, staying 2 lengths back of the pace, and then closing on JD Factor in that one. Christophe Calent and Luis Saez was the mount previously. I have to check if he is going to be the mount in this race. I believe he is, though. Dancing Groom. Dancing Groom, sixth place at Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes, but never making an impact in that one. That was his most recent big race. He was in the Champagne Stakes before that, though. Going 1 mile in that one, losing to Timberlake by 10 lengths, closing from deep. So even though he came in third place, showing a little bit of something, still way behind Timberlake in that one. And he did win a maiden special weight race, 136K, beating Houston by 5 lengths in that one, going a mile. Dancing Groom, the Antonio Sano horse. No more time. Got ourselves an Iowa horse here. Fifth place finish at the Mucho Macho Man Stakes. 3 3/4 lengths behind. Had a bad start, so there's some things to fix here for no more time. Um, Mucho Macho Man probably not indicative of the way he does run or should be running in this race here. Won a 50K maiden special weight, going a mile on that one. 6+ lengths over breakout, stalking the pace early, taking the lead at the 3/4 mile mark. First time out, he got a second place finish in maiden special weight race. Jose Ortiz, Jose D'Angelo. I wouldn't look at the Mucho Macho Man, look at that fifth place finish, and think that, yeah, that's indicative of this horse. I think he's got more than that. Whether he hits my top 10 or my top four or not, top four, I mean, is going to be a different story. Because, like I said, this race is top heavy, one horse top heavy. And then I think there's maybe about 4 or 5 other horses that are, vying for those last two in the money positions. No More Time could be one of them. Domestic product. Yeah, I got myself a little chart here. Hope you enjoy. One win in 3 races. Seventh place finish at the Remsen, a G2, going 9 furlongs in that one. Remsen is a nice long race. Hung in fourth place for most of the race. Rating off the pace, but fell back to 16 lengths behind Dornoch. And as you also know, Sierra Leone. Both of those horses just took off at the end and left the rest of the horses in their dust, in their mud. Um, yeah, seventh place finish at the Remsen. That's a tough one to get over, but some corrections can be made here. Chad Brown, Tyler Gaffleone. It's a solid pairing here to be putting on domestic products. So let's see what he can do. Did break his maiden a second time out at Aqueduct, going 9 furlongs in that one, leading the whole way and winning by 4.5 lengths. This horse can run the distance. Bumped up to a G2, obviously had some issues. Coming back for a G3, compared to the other horses here, the ones that have been running mostly in Mucho Macho Man, I'm curious to see how he mixes in with those horses and whether he rates up or not, because there's not a lot of horses here that have had that G1, G2 experience like Domestic Product has had, despite the fact that he had a pretty poor finish if you look at the final numbers. Fierceness. Okay, so here's the big one. Winner of the BC Juvenile, 6 lengths over Muth and Locked in that one. I mean, we saw him run away with the Juvenile, the BC Juvenile. So Fierceness, number one on our lists, number one in some of our hearts. This is a pretty strong Todd Pletcher horse. Previous to that, ran in the Champagne Stakes, took seventh, was 20 lengths behind, but in that race, and this is the reason I think he got such a good price at the BC Juvenile. He did throw his rider for a moment. There was a bit of a hanging on there. The rider recovered, but you can't recover from that in a race. The rider did recover and mounted the horse again, but yeah, it was not the best look for Fierceness in the Champagne Stakes. But I mean, you could look at that and say, hey, put a line through that race, and then you only have his maiden special weight to look at, where he beat Air of Defiance by 11 lengths. So if you look at his maiden special, you look at the BC Juvenile, you see that this is a type of horse that has some pretty special abilities. So obviously, I'll just come out with it right now. This is my pick to win. I don't think I'm shocking anyone here. I'm thinking this is probably everyone's shock to win. If you have someone else, go ahead and put it in the comments. I might laugh at you, but that's fine. Yeah, Fierceness. There you have it. And C Streak, 3 wins. Sorry, four. Ignore that. A third place at the Mucho Macho Man, trading second and first most of the race, but fell back to third behind Otello in that one. 3/4 of a length off the finish in third place. So, hung in there. Second place to Inveigled by 4 3/4 lengths in a 71K race, going 8 furlongs in that one. Broke his maiden at Belmont. Previous to that, in a 90K, 6 furlong maiden special weight race. Um, yeah, it should be 1 and 2 and 3 races, I believe. C Streak, interesting horse here. He's not a horse that gets a whole lot of talk. He's not getting, all respect to Leo Panici, not getting like the Tyler Gaffleone or an Ortiz mount or anything like that. But this horse keeps punching up in class. I'm excited to see what this horse can do. I will say, I think we're skipping ahead to the end here. He's not on my top four, but he's definitely one of the horses that I was talking about that could be in that next layer and could make some noise. So I don't have the odds right now. It's hard for me to say where my value is. I already said my safe play is fierceness. I mean, if you want to just lay a boatload of money on fierceness to win at whatever odds, it's like playing Flightline. I'm not saying fierceness is Flightline. Shut up in the comment section about that. I'm saying, with respect to the talent level in this race, I think he's going to run away with it. My value play right now, and again, I don't know the odds on this. I'm going to go back and forth between Otello and Domestic Product, depending on which one gives you the better odds. I think they're pretty close right now for different reasons. I like Otello that he actually did win the Mucho Macho Man, and he came from behind to win that. Inveigled was very close to him, but I will take Otello over the other horses in the Mucho Macho Man. Simple as that. Um, he was running from behind a number of horses and still managed to make his way to the front to win. Domestic Product, like I said, he was in some great. He was in the Champagne Stakes. He has some experience there. Probably didn't get the best run. I'm hoping he got a little bit of experience in that race and comes out punching in this one. So there you have it. I'm going to say fierceness. With Otello right now is my value play, inveigled Domestic Product underneath in a key box. So there you have it. Holy bull. What you guys got? Hit us up in the comments. Let us know what you think. And yes, have a good afternoon.